Both Apex Legends and Warzone came out at around the same time, February and March 2019, but where are the games now and what should you be playing at this current point in time? Well, in this video we're going to have a little discussion about that because I've been finding myself playing a bit of both lately and it's strange to see the journey that both of them have made. So yeah, let's have a little chat about it. So the way I feel about it right now is that Apex is a more complete game. And by that, I mean it just feels more fleshed out. Like the actual mechanically how it works feels more fleshed out. It doesn't feel like it needs bugs fixing. It doesn't feel like it's got loads of problems that need addressing immediately. And whatever does happen usually does get fixed quite quickly, quite promptly, with usually fair weapon balancing. And if they make a gun OP by mistake or by accident, it's either nerfed a little bit or it's put in a care package. So yeah, I definitely feel as if Apex has had more time to work on its flaws and kind of actually implement them and make it part of the game, whereas Warzone in 2022 still feels like a bit of a mess. It still feels like it's a work in progress at times, and you see it with the Caldera map. That was my phone going off there, apologies. And you see it with the Caldera map, and it doesn't feel complete, you know? One thing that Apex has got going for it as well is that it is a lot more welcoming to casuals, whereas Warzone has gotten a bit harder for new time players to access. I do have a video about this coming out more on Thursday, but basically you sign into Apex, you can buy a package where you've got all the main characters that you need, or you know, and every single gun, you can have the highest version of that gun in a game. You can find the best attachments in the game and have the best loadout for that particular gun all sorted. You don't have to worry about the stats, you don't have to worry about anything like that. It's all there. Whereas Warzone now there's guns from 3 different games. Some guns have 10 attachments, some guns have 5 attachments. There's even a bug where you can get 6 and 11 respectively, which is a bit weird. Well, just 6. And yeah, I find it a little bit strange. And you know, you've got to actually do all the research to find out what suppresses the best type of suppressor, to find out which barrel's the best type of barrel. Whereas in Apex, it doesn't matter. The color is what matters. Is that a purple? Cool, it's better than the blue. And you know, the Warzone has a lot of aspects where things are better in some ways, and the trade-off is this. There is none of that in Apex Legends, and yeah, that's got a lot more complicated as the months have gone by, as the years even have gone by. So yeah, just it's a lot more welcoming for people at the minute. And what I would say though, on the flip side of that, is that Warzone offers a lot more customizability. So obviously, you know, you do have the blueprints, and of course you've got the Apex packs as well, but you can buy what blueprint you want in Call of Duty, which if you're going to be spending money on DLC, you'd rather actually have a say in what you're actually going to get, as opposed to a loot box. And you know, if you want to slow build, you can make it slower. If you want, like, but obviously mint at recoil and mint at power and all that stuff. Or you can have a build which is fast, really light, really quick. You know, you're moving in and out, you're bee-hopping around all over the place, and you can build guns for that as well in Warzone. So you do have that simplicity that you lack compared to Apex. It does pay off in terms of the customizability, I think. Something else to bear in mind as well, that Warzone is more realistic. If that's the kind of thing that you want, then you know you're gonna have a bit more of a good time on Warzone. Although the graphics are technically more realistic, the mechanics and the way it plays just doesn't feel right. You know, like in Modern Warfare, it felt good, it felt all right. But now that we're in what is Vanguard, even though it's still technically the same base game as Modern Warfare, it just feels off. It feels strange. I don't know why that is, but lately with the way that certain attachments work on guns and the way that you can, you know, parachute in, and the novelty's wore off, and it just doesn't feel like it has that cutting edge it did, even though it's on the same engine as when it first came out. Whereas I really feel as if Apex has really polished its movement. It's really got it right. Obviously it came out in a good state, but I feel as if the speed that stuff happens, you know, that some of the mechanics that you can do with certain characters, I do feel as if Apex has kind of got not the realistic movement, so to speak, but more natural. Apex feels a lot more natural to play, whereas Warzone at the minute feels very put on. And it's strange. Well, it's not strange actually, because you consider that the original Call of Duty games, that COD feel, came from the developers that are now making Apex. So that is just something, you know, that you got to remember. So yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about that. Although something not so good is also because they have the same developers, they also share a same problem with older Call of Duty games, and that is the fact that they are optimized horrendously for PCs. Now, don't get me wrong, the graphics are optimized really nice. They're optimized, you know, the game could run on a toaster. But my problem is that the game is so sensitive. So Infinity Ward games never used to run well when they were Call of Duty games. Never used to run well at all on PC. And an example for this in Apex really is, I've had this problem, and I know that GingerFox has had it. The game will be stuck on the loading screen forever if you have a USB flash drive plugged into it. That is something so specific and so out there. It took a solid 20 to 30 minutes to find that, and the very bottom thread of a post to find out that it was a USB stick being plugged into a computer, which kept the game locked in that state. That is ridiculous. And another thing as well is the bit of a rant lately is I am miles behind of my friends in ranked because I have been unable to play Apex for, well, about a month. Do you know what the problem was? And I shit you not. It was registering my lighting software, as in like my keyboard lighting. It was registering that as like cheat software. It was registering that as a software that can't be utilized with the game. So whenever I boot the game up now, I've got to go into Control-Shift-Escape. I've got to go into my processes and turn off anything relating to my lighting, which is really strange. Don't know why that's even a thing, but that and just loads of little things like that just goes to show you why Apex is so sensitive. Like, I was streaming the other day, and I had someone basically message me to spam invite me a game for some crappy golf game on Steam. It crashed Apex. It's ridiculous. Apex prefers to run on Steam than on Origin. Like, there's outright performance differences in some cases. It is so sensitive. But yeah, now we can't ignore the fact that Warzone has an absolute abundance of hackers. You know, we can't hide from that, so we won't hide from that. Apex has had problems with hackers in the past, but they have dealt with it. The easy anti-cheat has, you know, got on top of it soon-ish after. And Warzone, you see it all the time in the main Caldera mode. We've spent hours talking about this on the channel. Let's not give it any more time, but you know that Warzone hackers are a big problem. Now, slower time to kill on Apex. COD is trying to copy Apex again, already has with the balloons, which you see lying around Caldera. It's like the zip hooks. So, yeah, but it's, you know, they're trying to make the slower time to kill that Apex has. And there's a reason that we need slower time to kill, because they've absolutely fucked the weapons on Warzone. They've made everything far too quickly to kill, so they're experimenting now with making the health 150, and then obviously on top of that, you've got your armor as well. Okay, cool, I support that, but it is a lazy fix to a problem that is long, you know, that's been happening for a long time, because all that does is tell me that it's going to happen again, and that actually punishes guns that have which have faster rates of fire but less damage in the long term. So that's a problem. So now the slow, hard-hitting guns are probably going to be the way to go now. Yeah, so ranked on Apex, great. Love having Apex ranked. It is fantastic, and you should love Apex for ranked. Warzone needs ranked. It would fix skill-based matchmaking problem. We've talked about this for a long time, but yeah, that's what it needs. That's what it really, really, really needs. Weapons, like I said before, you got a good variety of weapons on both games. However, on Apex, you just pick up the better attachments. You know very quickly what are the best attachments, and that's that. You have good variation, and you got different ammo types, which you do on Warzone as well. But it's linked to ammo type, so you'd have submachine guns, some use light ammo, some use heavy ammo. You have snipers, obviously all use sniper ammo. You've got marksman rifles on Call of Duty that would use marksman rifle ammo as well, which is sniper ammo. But on Apex, that might not necessarily be sniper ammo. So, for example, the triple take would use energy ammo, but would use three shots per shot instead of 1 from your ammo pool. So yeah, and then there's the fun factor. Rebirth is fun as hell, and so is Apex, to be honest. Caldera, not so much, and it is saying something that the Call of Duty's side mode, its side chick, is better than its main course than Warzone itself. So is sad. And you know, I don't really have fun when I'm getting killed by things on Caldera which I can't see. Which I've got a 1440p screen, 144 frames per second. There's no excuse for why I shouldn't be able to see someone. So yeah, and the fact that they've added loads of bushes into the map and then give us a ghillie suit operator, which is a bit mental. I don't mind that level of realism, but Warzone's not a realistic game. So yeah, stop trying to be something you're not, because it doesn't help with visibility, you know. Skill factor, you do need to be relatively skilled. You need to be very skilled in Apex Legends to be a really good player, whereas Apex is a easy game to learn, hard to master. Whereas I feel as if with Call of Duty, it's kind of medium-ish level to learn and medium-ish level to master. Basically, the slower you play, the better you are on Warzone, but the faster you play on Apex, the better you are on Apex. It's really good, unless you've got like a really coordinated pushing team on Warzone, that is, then things change. But yeah, these are kind of how I feel about Apex and Warzone at the minute, and at the moment it is Apex that is the better game for me at the moment, but that may change in the future. I do genuinely feel, especially during times in the Cold War era of Warzone, that Apex did take the lead, and then certain patches Warzone took the lead again. And you know, when Warzone came out, that was solid, like the better game for a good year. And now we're in a period where Apex is on top again, and you can see that with how many people are watching it, how many people are playing it. And yeah, this is kind of how I feel in the game. But guys, what do you guys think? This was maybe a short video as well. Comment below and let me know, because I do want to talk about it. I want to find out what you guys feel about the two games and what you are playing. Until then, I will see you on Thursday, when we are going to be talking about how Warzone is not great for casuals anymore, and how it's actually hard to get into for the first time. But yeah, I will see you in the next video. Peace.